News Now at midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Oregon News Now at midday. I'm Chelsea Deffenbacher. We begin this morning with breaking news. The burglary ring suspected of targeting Asian American families in the Eugene area over the last 2 years has been caught, thanks to the use of those flock cameras that the city of Eugene's council just voted to turn off. A meeting about turning off those cameras was happening Wednesday just as the cameras captured the license plate of the suspects. The Eugene Police Department is holding a press conference this morning and explaining how this all went down.
Certainly not going to read from that. If you've been to one of these, you know that I don't read from pieces of paper, so you have that. But one thing that I will share with you is that we're really excited to be able to announce that last night we served a search warrant and were able to make arrests of 7 individuals that we believe to be involved in the most recent burglaries of some Asian families' homes here in Eugene. We have been on this path before. This is not the first time we've seen this happen in Eugene. We've been a couple of year ago, we had a rash of these types of burglaries. We were able to make some arrests in that particular case, and then in August of this year, we started to see a pattern of that behavior starting to happen again. And I would just say to those people that are victimized by this particular group of individuals that we have been diligently working on this, even though many people have suggested that maybe we have not worked as hard on this as we should have. I can tell you that we have been tirelessly working on this particular a group of individuals that we believe in our town committing these burglaries. And what I would say, this is an incredibly sophisticated group, incredibly well financed, and this is a network of individuals that we believe is a nationwide effort to victimize communities in a targeted approach to find those homes of individuals that they believe are holding some level of valuables within their home. And so here we are again in Eugene talking about this. Search warrant was served in the 2400 block of Skyline last night. Some of you may have gotten the shelter in place alert. That was as a result of 7 individuals immediately fleeing the residence when we served the search warrant. Our incredible team and tactical operators were able to lock that area down. We were able to find all 7 of those individuals and arrest them. We did have 2 individuals that suffered minor injuries. One was from a canine bite, which is actually a fairly standard practice for us to have canines on an operation like that. The other one suffered some level of a seizure, and so both were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but not life-threatening. We have, as I said, arrested those. The investigation is ongoing. I can't say enough about the work that this police department has put into this investigation, and especially over the last 48 hours. If there's ever a moment in time where we try to remind ourselves why we do this job, this is that moment. This is that moment when we think about why we signed up, why we lean in, why we work all night, in this particular case, the last 48 hours in a row, to be able to get to a point where the chief of police can stand in front of you and announce the fact that we were able to apprehend 7 individuals that were targeting members of our community. So just so pleased with that work. Our property crimes unit, our special investigations unit working tirelessly. Detectives Lawler and Mackey, who were singled out by the media as being not doing enough in this case, were instrumental in being able to do this. And so I can't say enough about how proud I am of the team and how they persevered and pushed through some of the adversity that they were facing in this, and just really pleased that we were able to make these arrests. The last thing I think I would say is it's not lost on me that this point in time, with the conversation, the community conversation that's happening around the ALPR technology, and the importance of the ALPR technology for our police department. That tool, that investigative tool, is, in my opinion, so critical to us doing our work. This is the difference between being really good at your work and ascending and aspiring to be great at your work. And it was the ALPR technology was the single most important piece of new information that brought us to this day where we could share this news with you. So on Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m., and incidentally, I was in the middle of a work session having this conversation with council. A lot of people watching that. Some of those people watching that were the entirety of my detective division watching what was going to happen with this technology. And at 1 p.m., while I'm having this community conversation with council, we got our first hit on ALPR. If you could have been here to watch the number of staff that were running out of the building to try and chase down this really key investigative tip, you would have been impressed. I know I heard the stories because I was engaged. It was impressive. Then what transpired after that was just hours of locating the vehicle, locating a residence associated with the vehicle, which happened to be a local Airbnb, following the vehicle up and down the I-5 corridor through the communities of Corvallis, Albany, and eventually in Salem. And this is all happening over the course of that afternoon into that night, over the course of the night. This group, we believe, committed a burglary in Salem while we were surveilling them. Certainly we were not so close that we could witness the burglary, but a burglary call went out while we were in Salem, in the neighborhood that we were at, following them back, identifying, again, where they were going to sleep for the night, and through surveillance being able to ascertain that there looked as if there was some evidence from that burglary from Salem that they were putting away, and being able to get the search warrant signed and serve that search warrant last night. We could have not done this without so many really key partners, aside from the work that we're doing. We have stood up a task force for this particular effort. It involves Wayne County Sheriff's Office, certainly Eugene Police Department and Springfield. But the key piece of this is the involvement of our Wayne County District Attorney's Office. Having an assistant district attorney assigned to this task force and having such a great partner in DA Chris Perosa, who I firmly believe supports the use of the technology and what the technology is able to do and the prosecutability of these crimes. I'm really excited to be able to present this case to him and have him be able to present it in an effort to get a successful prosecution. So just really, really good work. It's like I said, it's stuff that you can't even make up. It's just unbelievable the amount of work that's happened over the last 24 to 48 hours. Again, proud of my team, proud of them suspending everything else that was going on in their personal lives for the last 48 hours and making sure that this was something. And if there's one thing I hope people get from this, and especially the victims in our community would get from my comments today, is that, you know, we're everybody's police department, and contrary to maybe some communication that's out there, the men and women of the Eugene Police Department work so hard on your behalf.
All right, now let's take a live look outside across our region with